Hey, it's me, Rob. This is SOS Fragrance Reviews, and I've got another video. Earlier this year, I let you guys know I was working on some concepts for future videos, and I've got the first one I'm going to present to you today. This video concept is called Randoms, and I'm going to get into 4 fragrances I want to present, and I'll kind of get more into the whole concept behind it in just a moment. Stay tuned. All right, so the concept behind randoms is based upon like the premise of, think of if you're a person that likes sports and you've got a favorite team and you follow the team to the extent that you get familiar with the roster and you know the players, and you know there are certain players that don't play a lot, but whenever they get on the field, they make a play, and you start to wonder, like, when is this person going to get in the game? When are they going to start to get more playing time? It's like whenever they get on the field, they make a play, but they're just not playing a lot. And there could be a number of reasons as to why, but I kind of looked at my fragrance collection the same way. Every now and then I'll go through my collection, I'll look at the fragrances I've got and, you know, kind of reassess. And I'll even pull fragrances and say, okay, I'm going to give these fragrances some time. And when I do that, I always, you know, get reminded of fragrances that are really good in my collection, but for whatever reason, they don't really get a lot of wear. All right, so I've got 4 fragrances to bring to you today. First one is from the house of Diesel. Now, the Diesel house is not a house that I talk a lot about, but this fragrance is a really good fragrance, and it's called 0 Plus Masculine. All right. This is a 03 release, and it's basically a warm, spicy fragrance. It kind of starts off where you spray it. It kind of smells like potpourri, but it's more than that. You know, as it begins to transition, you know, there's a note of cinnamon, there's this nutmeg note. They start to smooth out. You get like a little powderiness in the fragrance, which I'm not really a big fan of, but it's just the right amount. It kind of gets sweet. There's like a hint of vanilla that comes to. It just has this warm, almost like a glow that just, it's almost like a warm sweater. And when you're wearing the fragrance, it just gets better and better as the day goes on. And it's got really good performance, and I feel like I smell amazing every time I wear the fragrance, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't make its way into my rotation that often. So here are the notes. The notes read as follows: nutmeg, cardamom, anise, orange, bergamot. In the mid, cinnamon, rose, violet, jasmine, lily of the valley, vanilla, musk, amber, heliotrope, patchouli. It's a fragrance you can cop for about 27 to 35 bucks. It was a fragrance I used to see quite often at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Don't really see it that often, but every blue moon, I'm pretty sure it'll fall through there, and you can still catch it on eBay in that same range. It's, you know, it's a fragrance that I feel like punches above its price point, and one that, you know, maybe it doesn't make its way into my regular rotation, but for some of you guys, you might really like it, and I think it's got signature scent potential. So again, from the house of Diesel, 0 Plus Masculine. Second fragrance is a 2015 release. It's from the house of Baldessarini, and this is Ultimate. This is a, how can I put it? It is a subtle, kind of mature, slightly formal fragrance that is, I think, perfect for the office. It could actually be perfect for, like, you know, high-end events or even dates. And I say dates only because of the fact that it's kind of subtle, and it's it wears close to the body. And like, you know, as your evening will go on, if you have somebody close to you, they're going to smell this, and I think they're going to really enjoy it. So the notes for this fragrance are as follows. In the opening, you've got pink pepper, mandarin orange, bergamot. In the mid, you've got magnolia, freesia, jasmine. And in the base, you've got leather, amber, olibanum, and labdanum. So for me, the way this fragrance kind of starts out, it's got a pretty nice citrus and it's kind of peppery. But then it's also got this little, how can I say it? It's got this almost like a pencil shavings type vibe in the beginning. And it kind of goes, it sits in that spot for a moment. It kind of goes back and forth. Then it kind of gets into what I like to think is a slightly green and almost clean smell for a little while. And then it transitions to this fragrance that has like this kiss of sweetness with this nice soft leather accord. And you know, it's when it gets to the it kind of stays in that like leathery part of the fragrance the longest, but once it gets there, man, it's a really great smell. And you know, it's one that I feel like will garner compliments if a person is close enough to you to really smell it. Again, it's a subtle fragrance, and where it's close, this is not a projection monster. Maybe for like the first 30 to 45 minutes, it projects pretty decently, but then after that, it kind of gets close. And then the next small transition from like the green clean into the that soft leather, slightly sweet accord. I mean, that's what it does. It's a solid fragrance, and it's one you can cop for like around 35 to 45 bucks. If you can catch it in that window, in that price range, it's perfect. Anything more than that, I don't think you need to have it, but if you can catch it in that price range, it's a great fragrance to have in your arsenal. And again, it's a random for me, but this could be a signature scent fragrance for you. So again, from the house of Baldasarini, this is ultimate. For some people, this might be insulting to think of a Hermes fragrance as a random, but for me, this fragrance is just a random. It's just because I don't touch it enough. 2018 release, this is 0intense Vetiver. Really nice fragrance. If you love Vetiver, this is one I think you should have in your collection. It's a fragrance that I think it's versatile. You could dress it up, you could dress it down. It would be great for the office, formal settings. Dates, not really. I mean, after work for sure, but this wouldn't be something that I would reach for as far as a date fragrance, but you know, to each his own. But a very, very solid fragrance. It's got the really nice citrus opening that Terre de Hermes is known for. It's also got this kind of peppery accord that goes along with that. Clean, kind of green, a little smoky, really well done fragrance. Like the notes are as follows. You've got bergamot, grapefruit, and lemon in the opening. In the mid, you've got pepper, geranium, and then in the base, you've got vetiver, olibanum, patchouli, amberwood. This is a solid fragrance, and again, one that I think a person that really loves vetiver should try to get in their collection. If you don't have anything like this might be one to check out. And again, I think this could be a signature scent for somebody. So from the house of Terre de Hermes, or from the house of Hermes, this is 0intense Vetiver. Last fragrance is a fragrance that is a really good freshie. I don't talk about this fragrance that often. I had it in a couple videos early on for this channel. I bought it at a soap store. I've never seen anybody do any video on this particular fragrance. It's from the house of Botocario D Havana. All right, and I don't know if that's the name. It says formula number 112, and it's got Archipeglio registered trademark. So I don't really know what the name of this fragrance is. I'm gonna put all the information on the screen so you can see it. The notes are listed on this bottle: orange blossom, patchouli, bergamot, honeysuckle. All right. And it says this formulation has been specifically created and authenticated by the master chemist, and it's got a person's name in cursive, and that's it. Listen, all I can tell you is that this fragrance is a great smelling fragrance. It gives you a solid 4 to 6 hours if you're in a climate controlled environment. If you're outdoors and you're sweaty and it's humid out there, you can probably chop that in half. But if you're gonna be wearing this indoors, it's gonna give you good performance for a freshie. And trust me, the orange note is great. I mean, I liken it to how authentic the grapefruit note is in Light Blue Forever. Think about it along those lines. This is a really nice fragrance and nobody talks about it. And for me, it's a random. But trust me, if a lot of you guys had this fragrance in your collection, you would love it. It would be a go-to. It could be a signature scent for the warm weather. and I know it would be talked about quite a bit, but for whatever reason, it doesn't make its way into my rotation enough as of late. So I wanted to add this to the list of randoms, and this is the last one. Again, Botocario D Havana. It might be from the house of Archipeglio. I'm not certain. I'm going to have all the information on the screen. Guys, this is the first one in a series of randoms. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be bringing more to you. So stay tuned. I thank you for checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you've never hit the like button for me. I would really appreciate it. It helps with the numbers and, you know, everything behind the scenes. If you've never subscribed, I would ask that you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Peace.